Welcome back to the green room, man. We here with another dope episode, man. You know we always here to celebrate black excellence, lift our people up. You know what I'm saying? Like so, we here with another dope guest, man. I'm here, your boy Erks. You know what I'm saying? I got my co-host.
I'm Ashley. Ayo, Ashley, what's up?
And we got another dope guest here today. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Kristen.
Kristen, what's up, man? It's nice to meet you. You know
Nice
what
to
I'm
meet
saying?
you too, Eric. I hear a lot about you.
Hey, you know, I'm trying to make something happen out here, man. So, Ash, get us going, man. Let us know how we gonna do this thing today.
All right, so of course y'all know we like to start our episodes off with our Wake and Bake segment. Now, if you don't know what Wake and Bake is, we're just basically gonna talk about, some things that's been going on in the world, so we can see how we feel about it. So if you have been on any social media platform over the last couple of days, then you should know that about what we're talking about with this TikTok ban. So how do you feel about them banning TikTok? Or
I seen it was a conversation that started a little while ago, man. They had some shit. Of course, they're trying to blame everything on China. I don't really know the depths of all of that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people make money on these social media sites, man. And I know TikTok opened up a lane for a lot of people to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the one major thing I take away from it. Because, I just want my people to get their money. And I know black creators is thriving on that thing. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's a disparity on how they treat white and black creators on TikTok anyways. You know what I'm saying? So, but either way, man, the boy getting money. So I hate for them boy to shut down that lane or cut off the access for them boy to get that paper that way.
now, just to give it a little more detail, from my understanding, that the reason that they're even looking to ban TikTok, I feel like has a lot to do with the fact that people are getting money. But I was reading a couple of articles, and it looks like it's really just coming down to having access to people's data.
Right.
So there's been a lot of talk about Mark Zuckerberg and how he kind of initiated it, the TikTok ban, because Facebook was able to sell these countries our data, but now with TikTok they don't need him anymore.
They immediate access because they're the ones who
exactly
in control.
Right, because we're now giving them our data directly, instead of giving it through other social media platforms. So Mark don't like that. And he's like, y'all kind of digging into my check, which is why they stopped monetizing Instagram Reels, stopped monetizing Facebook Reels, because, they're running out of money. TikTok has a much larger, reach. Like, you can reach millions of people within a couple of hours, whereas, Facebook is censored. They'll take a lot of things down,
Oh, yeah, Facebook will flag you in a fucking second.
So they don't like that. And then, of course, when they brought this to the government, the government also doesn't like the fact that information spreads so quickly on TikTok. There's a lot of things that we wouldn't know.
I'd be on that mug, but like, how do I get this shit off my credit? Damn,
right. Like, I was literally on TikTok last night, literally just typing in videos looking for like at-home office stuff. Like, it'll literally take you to exactly what it is you're looking for, and I don't think they like that. So how do you feel about them banning TikTok? Like, how does this affect you and your business?
Listen, coming from someone who was very avid on Instagram before the whole influencer wave came through, it was like literally I could make a post and it generically do well by itself without having to boost it, having to pay for ads. TikTok came in and changed the game. They have a way better algorithm, and like Erch was saying, information gets through so fast nowadays. Like, it's too hard to control it because how fast it goes, it spreads like wildfire. So I think the boys over there with Mark, they upset. You getting in their bag a little bit. Like, wait a minute now, okay, this is my block.
Wait, y'all boy cut me off. Now we getting people over here. That's wild, man. Like, I've been just trying to explore that lane myself, you know what I'm saying? Because, I've been doing my rap thing or whatever, but then, I transitioned to doing some other things. So I've been about to try to tap into that too. But now it's shit like, damn, the boy going, wait, I think I'm going to just fuck with the YouTube, man.
And which I was just about to say, people aren't going to go back to Facebook and Instagram. Like, eventually they're just going to die out like MySpace and things like, like you said, YouTube, because you can post a lot on YouTube. A lot is not censored.
Hey, YouTube got the power now. Like, them boy going in.
Right, and their monetization program is a lot better, once you do qualify for it. So I don't know why Mark thinks people going back to Facebook. They're not gonna go back.
With the book, I seen something the other day that said like they can track your keystrokes on TikTok. Like even if you type something in and like erase that motherfucker, like they can still tell like you even typed that in like without even hitting search on that shit. But that's a lot of access.
Yeah, I think at a certain level you have to like really realize, okay, like how much of my privacy, even the small things, am I giving up? Because that's just going to be like a snowball effect. I get to be my keystrokes, and then the next thing you know, y'all got access to my wallet. You know, you got access. You can see me on my bank account app.
So when you, I mean, like, so does that even go as far back to when you typing in your username and your password and all of that shit?
I mean, at this point, things like Apple Keychain exist. They already have our information. So, I mean, it's just at a point where now if you use technology, you just have to accept the fact that somebody has access to all of your information. And you want to know what's crazy?
Once you open that phone and you hit agree.
Right. It's over. It's over.
You done goddamn give everything up.
Right. Basically. And you want to know what's crazy? I was just looking at a movie on Netflix the other day. It was called Unlocked.
Netflix.
Basically, this girl lost her phone. Somebody found it. She called it. Someone answered, said that they found it. But by that time, they had already like stolen all of her information, like placed a camera in the phone and everything like that. So once they gave her the phone back, he was literally tracking her every move. I mean, like it only took a couple of hours, and she didn't know what was going on. So every time she made a phone call, I mean, everything she did, he had access to it. So I think that the movie was trying to send a message, to us, like, we on these phones all day.
They'll make a lot of movies like making little references to how he is. What's the other movie, like Don't Look Up or some crazy shit like that?
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
The world ended, like they're in the sunken reality. Like, look, this is really what's in front of you.
That shit crazy.
It's not. It's Facebook.
That shit crazy, man. But it's easy to get locked in on that shit. I just feel like you just gotta be tapped into the right shit, man. Like. It's easy to just go down the rabbit hole on one of these social media sites and just sit there for 2.5 hours doing nothing, like just laughing, watching some girl shake some ass or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to just go down one of them rabbit holes because once they see that's what you tapped into, they gonna feed you now. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna make sure it's like, oh, this what you like to watch, bet, and you can just infinitely scroll on that motherfucker. Like that shit don't stop. So.
But to piggyback off of that, like even with China, like China controls, like they really dictate what circulates on their TikTok.
Right.
And over here we have, First Amendment, freedom of speech, things like that. So that just tells you how much they probably would be worried about it. Because now when you have information being exchanged so fast, and then on top of the data breach, quote unquote, it's a dangerous thing. Like knowledge is power in any aspect or capacity. So you give people knowledge, you can never take that away from them. No matter how, silly it may be, or it could be detrimental depending on, what industry you're in, even when you look at politics.
But you want to know what's crazy? I have a friend who lives in China, and whenever some things were going on a couple of months ago, whenever, I mean, no, he's an English teacher.
Word.
So whenever things were going on a couple of months ago,
man, they teach them boy English over there?
Yes.
Yeah, like English is a part of their curriculum. But anyway, whenever things were going on over there with the lockdown because COVID was coming back,
right.
He didn't know what was going on. Like, I was having to send him videos about what was going on because he couldn't see it. Like, so they can censor their own people well.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like I said, like, I'm having to screen record and send him these videos about what was going on around him because he didn't even know.
He knew what the fuck happened.
And I was like,
I just went over there yesterday. I saw an interview with, like, one of the creators of TikTok or something like that. And he even said himself, like his daughter like 12 years old and she ain't even allowed to use it.
It's dangerous. It can be dangerous in the wrong hands. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing.
Man.
So it can be dangerous. A lot of people don't want their kids susceptible to a lot of stuff that's in the world right now. Like you have to think when we were coming up, I mean, I'm a 90s baby, so if you didn't see it on TV or if nobody told you about it, you didn't know about it.
Right.
We were coming in at the brink of the MySpace age, Bebo, Tumblr for the people that were really into it. So even then, information was still, limited because people had a sense of censorship when it came to what they put out into the masses.
Right. Yeah, man. So that's crazy. I mean, as a parent, you got a kid, man, just try your best to just be tapped into what the boy got going on the phone. I be on my daughter shit. I be going, I got the iPhone. I lock that motherfucker. I can see what website she on. I be, who you been texting for 54 minutes?
Exactly. Real time is real.
I be on that. But no, man, the reason we here today, man, Black excellence. Let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? So we got a dope guest. I'm gonna go ahead and let you reintroduce yourself. Okay. And let the people know what you do, like what your business is.
Okay, so my name is Kristen. I'm a licensed cosmetologist here in the state of South Carolina. I've been doing nails now for going on 11 years. I'm still practicing nails. I'm also a salon owner and a supply store owner right here in Columbia.
Oh, word.
So yeah, that's what I do.
Facts, man. That's what's up, man. It sounds like a lot of money coming in over there. I ain't counting your pockets. You know what I mean? I ain't counting your pockets.
We try.
I'm about to say, because I get my nails done there, so, I can it's like, I'm playing with you. No, I'm just playing with you. So, you said that you've been doing nails for 11 years. Can you give us some more details? Like, how did you get started? What made you want to start doing nails?
Okay, so I came from a small town, real small town. Whenever I graduated high school, I went to the military. So I came out of high school, finishing a vocational program. I actually had my cosmetology license by the time I was 17. So I was like, that's going to be my plan B. If something don't work out, I got to fall back. Mm-hmm. Went to the military, got hurt. It didn't work out. Mm-hmm. So when I came here for college, I was like, I need a job. Like, I can't be calling my mom and daddy for money every 2 seconds. I want to live my best life. So ended up getting a job at a nail salon downtown and stuck with it from there. Basically, kind of did it, left it, came right back to it. By the time it was time for me to go to pharmacy school, I was like, I don't think I want to go to pharmacy school. Right. I can't see myself punching somebody else's clock and being unethical about it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't want to work for anybody else. So I'm going to do it. I got to do it for me. So that's why I was like, I quit my job. I tell people all the time I clocked out in 2016. I haven't clocked back in since.
Facts.
So
that's what's up.
It was just a drive knowing that I had no option to fail is what just kept me driven in it the whole time.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I always like to talk about, man. Like how you start off on a path in life and you feel like you locked in, like this is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? And through that path in life, you make a left turn somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And you just discover other things and you're like, dang, I'm real good at this. And then, like you said, you come back and it's like, okay, it's time for me to go to school. And it's like, I don't think I want to do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, just like when you get them signs, you know what I'm saying? Like when you get your signs going on your path in life, don't think that you got to write it out and just go straight down that road, man. Like you never know what you pick up along the way. Like,
Right. And I was just having a conversation with somebody. They asked, like, it was like, what's your 5-year plan? And I was like, honestly, this wasn't even in the plan. So at this point, I don't really have a plan. We just gonna let the chips fall. Right.
It plays domino.
Right, basically.
See, back then, ain't never one of them things because, like, shit ain't been progressing so fast back then. So, like, you could just kind of... That been one of them things where people feel like if they ask you what you gonna do in 10 years and you ain't got an answer, they feel like, oh, you ain't gonna do nothing then. Like you don't gotta figure it out or something like that. But things change so fast now, it's like, bro, I have no idea, bro. What I've been doing 6 months ago ain't even what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So I have no idea.
Right. So speaking of things changing fast, let me ask you how you feel about this. Because I've been seeing a lot of nail techs talk about how, how the beauty industry is changing. These girls will pay $300, for them to, just glue the wig down. But, they want to nickel and dime the nail techs.
Ooh. Value, ladies and gentlemen, value. Like, you got to really weigh the value. It's a tip and Libra scale sometimes. But when you find a good tech that cares about your nail health, that's not using shiesty products on you, something that's really unhealthy. I mean, overall, it's all chemicals, but something that's not eminently detrimental to you. Someone who takes pride in their work, they're giving you and executing every single thing every single time. And it can last you a good 4 to 6 weeks. You can't beat that. Like, you can't sit here and say, I don't want to pay $300 or $150 for some nails, but then you'll go to the chop shops and pay $75 every 2 weeks and still end up with some subpar nails that you do not like and not satisfied with. and then you still want to gripe and complain.
Little squiggly line, because that's all they can do.
Little stripes, little dots. Like, okay, there you go, girl, we got you. No, so you have to value it. Like it's value in it because your nails are jewels. They're pieces of art.
Right, and people always ask me why my nails be done always. And you know, people ask me, y'all, because y'all, that's my nail lady. But anyway, my nails are always done, and people always ask me, oh, your nails aren't damaged. No, my nails ain't damaged, because when my nails are damaged, my nail lady will not do them, y'all. She sent me on vacation with some nubs because I broke my nail, and she told me straight up, actually, I'm not doing nothing to that nail, because if your nail get infected and fall off, you're not gonna point the finger at me. And I was devastated.
Right.
But you know, had I gone to the chop shop, they probably just would have glued something over it and let me go on about my business. You know,
that with a fungus and everything.
I never get my nails done before, man. A couple of my partners be going to get this shit done. I used to be like, man, check you out. I ain't your nails done. You think you was, but nowadays you know, I be like,
she gotta get you a little manicure.
I didn't know touch them feet. I go on them.
No, listen, that's the best part, man.
She gotta get you a little mani petty.
I'm from the country now, like these shit right here. The first glimpse gonna be like,
it ain't nothing they can't handle.
Ernst, where you from?
Charleston.
What part of Charleston?
Hollywood.
Hollywood? Over the bridge.
Hollywood.
Oh yeah, you can get your feet done
in the country.
I know exactly what Hollywood is. There's nothing wrong with it. You can get your feet done, and then go back to Hollywood like, hey boy, go get your pedicure.
Right, you know, go outside with your little Nike slippers on. You know what I'm saying?
What you flip on?
I always had one do the little thong slipper swag one time for them.
The little dance slippers.
There you go.
Man, you playing.
No, I can't break these. I have socks on with the thong slippers, so I can't leave.
No.
These just be rough. Well,
Earth, go ahead and bring them thing out now.
One of these days, man.
Hot boy summer.
Right.
But at the same time, when did you decide like it was time for you to transition out of working for somebody to opening your own shit?
When I saw that I wasn't valued as a person,
right?
Now, not even as an asset, but as a person. I worked in a predominantly white area, predominantly white pharmacy. Literally, all my superiors were white males at the time. It was 2016. You know, 2016 was a good year. It was a different year, but it was a good year. You know, Drake was lit 2016, but it was also election year. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we had a presidential election going on, and the audacity that came out of people, like people really showed their true colors then. So I was like, I don't think as a black woman, a double minority, I would do well in something like this because of how people genuinely felt. It's one thing when we know that we're here to get something done and we can execute it and go home and be done with it. But when you break outside in, you can't leave stuff at the door, and then it shows, you know, in your work, in your flow, and how you handle other people. I can't support that. Mm-hmm. So I've always said, like, you know, I'm a country girl. I'm from Hemingway. So yeah, we treat people. Southern hospitality is the thing. Like my mom always said, like you be mindful how you treat people. Right. Like manners will always take you further than anything else in this world, simply by just being kind to people. And I think even now, like the older I get, the more I get into my industry and dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, people aren't kind anymore. Oh yeah. So I just try to be the difference in that. Like I'm gonna show you different. Like people can still be kind. Like you don't have to be rude. You don't have to be nasty to people just because. Right. Everybody into this. Everybody's so into this self now, man. Like and they got a lot to do with these phones too. You know what I'm saying? Just a little social media. Put that right filter on. You get 200 likes. They're like, oh shit, what are you talking about? Nah, what's up? Right. Like, nah, man. You just like everybody else.
People looking for validation from social media.
The wrong sources. Right. Because people don't realize like social media only shows you the good. A lot of people aren't true enough to themselves to stand like, okay, this is what took me here. This is my truth. Like, yeah, it looks like flowers and candy right now, but I had some nights I cried. I had some nights like I had to worry about how I was gonna get from A to Z. You know, lights probably been off. Probably had an eviction card get repo. People don't ever show you that because it doesn't look good. But I think people gotta be mindful of that because it's created a false reality in the society today. Like instant gratification is so unrealistic. Right. Like nothing comes instantly.
That's the thing that I'm afraid of with my child when it comes to social media. You know what I'm saying? Because depression lock in so quick on them, boy. Because they get to see other people highlight reel. You know what I'm saying? So you get to see another 13-year-old on TV or you know what I'm saying, doing some, you like, dang, why I can't do that, whatever the case is. So
right. So mom and daddy be like, look, baby, you don't want them long hours and people mean.
I try and tell you, like, ain't what it look like.
You can't go play with your friends. You got to come in here and do your acting lessons, okay?
Right.
That's not real.
Right. That shit, like, you don't get a childhood. That would fuck up Michael Jackson. But that's a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? We'll say that for a different.
Right.
But yeah, man.
All right, so Chris, you told us that you got your nail shop. You got your nail supply store.
Yeah.
All right, what do you plan on doing next?
Ooh.
Oh, well, you know what? I feel like I already know what you about to do next. Ain't that right?
If you say retirement, you are correct.
No, you ain't retiring. You about to relocate.
Relocate. Ash. Retirement, baby.
Y'all, she about to relocate.
Let me tell you. If COVID hasn't taught us anything, is work-life balance. And I would be the first to admit, I'm a bit of a workaholic.
Right.
Like, if it's time to get to the nitty-gritty, down to dirty, oh yeah, I'm there. I'm here from the sun up to sundown. Like, I'm out here with the burning the midnight oil. But I think in reality, what would be next is expansion. At some point, your money got to make money for you. You can't always be the one to pull it, because if I'm pulling it, what's the purpose of me having it? So once most of my businesses get to the point where they're self-sufficient, just scaling at that point, getting it as big as it can be. I'm almost hitting that 30 club soon. So whenever I decide to have a family and kids and a husband.
39, boy.
Listen, I heard it hurt a little bit when you hit that 3-0.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to ever be the parent that's too busy for their family.
Yeah,
I want to be a present parent. I'm a present auntie, but I would like to be a present parent.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that what I'm doing now is going to set me up for success. As much success in that as I can.
Right. So we got to go back a little bit, because I forget about something. You said a beauty supply store?
Nail supply store.
A nail supply store.
Yeah.
What all does that consist of?
Just nail products. So South Carolina, it's a dry state for a lot of things.
Right.
In a lot of industries, but we don't have a lot of nail supply stores here. Right. So when I first started it, I would just do small things like online. But as of last year, I decided it was time for expansion. So time for growth. So I actually wanted to do a storefront and get it to where people can just walk in, 7 days a week.
Oh, damn, that's lit.
Be able to get what they need, good stuff. Because we have stores here, but
is it connected to the salon, or is this two separate locations?
It will be. So we're transitioning now. I'm gonna house everything under one roof. So we're in the point of getting that planned out, but it will be all in one location.
Dang. So that's what's up, man. Like, I didn't realize even on that level right there. Like, jeez, now I count your pockets, man. Now I am counting your pockets. Yeah, that's what's up, man. So like, I didn't realize the amount of money that was in that industry. Like, honestly though, when it come to getting nails and shit done, like the women that I grew up around, it wasn't real like extravagant with it. You know what I'm saying? So like.
But I mean, we're talking about the beauty industry, like as a whole, like, like nowadays. I mean, even 5 years ago, you probably could have got some box braids, for like $100. Now, no less than $3.
That's crazy.
No less than $3, and that's even if you sitting. That's even if you sitting in somebody's living room.
13-year-old daughter
at this point.
I know.
Listen, them teenagers, but listen, them girls are getting in it early, and I think that's so dope that.
Because my daughter, she was like, she wanting to get into that shit. And in my mind, I'm like, if I'm going to let you have social media, then you need to be doing that already.
Right.
Because then you have something to do on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't just going to be on there trying to find the newest dance or whatever. Like, all that shit cool. Like, I ain't saying nothing wrong with that. All that shit cool. But you have more of a purpose. You be more purpose driven with using that shit.
Right.
Let me try, because like you say, she 13 now, and if I have the ability to have everything set up for her, like if she get into that field now, then I can have everything set up for her, like a location and all of that other shit, so that you can really dive into what you do. But at 13, if you start doing that now, you can build your clientele and all of that shit, so that when you be ready for a location.
Right.
And not only that, she can help a lot of the girls around her, like
I commend you for that, Eric. So I'm gonna give you your hand clap for that, because what a lot of people didn't do, and at least from what I've seen, and it could be a cultural thing for us, a lot of people don't nurture certain aspects. And coming from a certain standpoint, I get it, because the generation prior to us, so our parents and then our grandparents, they were always taught to, or conditioned to believe that you work a job for 20-something years and then you just enjoy your retirement at that point. And that's all you can do. Or you go to college and get this immense amount of student debt, and then you go work a job that you can barely afford your student loan debt, and then retire and then enjoy the fruits of your labor in your 60s and 70s. So whenever you start, I love to see that parents these days, and particularly us, we're starting to nurture certain skills early on.
Facts.
Like, you know, it was, I guess, innately, I could say that I was kind of nurtured, even though I wasn't paying no attention to it. But on my aunt's own salons, like I started shampooing hair in my aunt's salon when I was 13 years old. So I was already in that setting, didn't consider it past that at that time, but just knowing like so far back, like, wow, that was already kind of in me to be in a salon setting, to be in this industry. And it's kind of dope. It's real dope. So yeah, we're gonna give you your kudos on that.
Facts. Nah, I gotta get it right, man. I 30 and I still trying to transition out of this job shit now. You know what I'm saying? At 30 years old. So if I can expose her to a lot of the shit I know now, then she don't gotta accumulate all the debt and all of the bullshit and try to dig herself out of that hole for 4 or 5 years, and then now you can start and like, nah, like I want her to start in school. You know what I'm saying? If you getting that money like that, shit, we can go get you in the accelerator program, get you a diploma, so you can go ahead and start making this money. You know what I'm saying? That's what that shit really about. You know,
right. Because this ain't the same world that our parents grew up in. And I was just having this conversation with one of my friends. You know, I'm like, nowadays, like, you know, like I was telling her, I literally saw, you know, one of my friends get a job. You know, the job relocated her, gave her a bonus just to lay her off 6 months later. I was like, so you can't really, you know, like whenever you're talking about security or having a career, like you almost have to, you know, just find something else that works for you, because like you literally cannot put your eggs like in one basket. So it's good that you want her to start early, because, you know, like I said, I'm 30 and I'm just now figuring this out. You know what I'm saying? And trying to have this conversation with my family. They don't understand. They're like, girl, you want to leave your job? I'm like, yes. You know, like
listen, when I dropped out of college, I got accepted into pharmacy school. I dropped out in the spring. I was starting to fall. My mom had not talked to me for almost 2 weeks. She barely wanted to have a conversation. She was like, I just can't believe you were that close. I was like, it's not for me. Like, I don't want to get into 6-figure debt before I graduate and still got to go work a job that I'm probably not going to like at this point, and do all the strenuous hours just to make, you know, to make a living for myself and live decently.
We had a previous guest that she got a food truck out there in Greenville. Her name Bella. And she went through the same thing. Like, she went to college out there in California or some shit like that. But she always been cooking and shit. So, like, cooking for her friends and all of that. And people started asking her to cook for events and all of that shit. And she like, hey, I'm going to finish this college shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we getting money over here.
And that's the thing. I finished college. I got 2 degrees and still just said, to hell with it.
I couldn't get through, man. I gone to college 2 different times and I couldn't get through either time. I know. I get to that trigonometry. I've been going for engineering. That shit be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I get to that trigonometry. I should start beating my ass. I've been trying to work and do all that shit too.
I mean, I think it's just because, you know, I don't know. I have been seeing a lot of curriculum change, or, you know, a lot of teachers do different things now to try to prepare, you know, these kids for the real world, which I am glad to see. But yeah, college, school, work, all of that is definitely shifting. And I even think that goes back to what we were saying earlier with the TikTok ban. I don't think that they want this shit to happen. Like, people are getting a lot more freedom. You know, like, you got 21-year-olds making $10,000 a month. Like, I literally saw a video where I saw a video where a banker was saying how she had a 24-year-old client. He had stocks, he had investments, all sort of things, that he died in a car accident. But, you know, she was just speaking on, she was like, he had so much financial wealth and didn't leave it to anybody. So now all of that stuff is going through probate. But in my head, I'm thinking at 24 years old, I didn't know anything about no stocks, no investments. Definitely. You know, so
24 years old, don't let me catch you slipping. Well, whole different way.
So everything is shifting. People are now seeing that you don't necessarily need a 4-year degree to make money. Like, you don't have to work to make money. Like, so.
Yeah, man. And there's something that she mentioned too about, you said you had your cosmetology license at what, 16?
17.
17?
Yeah.
Like where I went to school at, that shit ain't even an option. Like you get math, English, science,
And
and you take your ass home.
I think we have to normalize that, especially with our educational system. Like, there are other options outside of college. Like, granted, everybody is not a bookworm. Everybody can't do the standardized curriculum and do it for another 4 to 6, 17 years, depending on what you're trying to do. But give these kids the options. Like, we have very minimal programs that let you leave school with certification.
Right.
Like, my little brother graduated from the same high school I went to. He graduated with his welding certificate.
Yeah.
Like, you can come out of high school, going into the workforce, and making a decent amount of money for yourself. Even with like hosts of health science, girls can come out of school being CNAs at 17, 18 years old. Like, you're already setting yourself up to where you're going to have a solid foundation and able to build off of that. Even if you do a career transition, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the line.
Right.
Hell yeah, man. So you gotta pay attention to that shit, man. Like, where you got your kids at, I know sometimes that zoning shit be a problem.
Yes.
You know, you gotta send your kids to the bullshit school because you can't live in the residentials over there. You know what I'm saying? Send your kid to that school. So that shit be crazy, man. And I see they opening up some shit now to where you get more of a preference on where you send your kids to school, where you get the ability to. But I feel like they're gonna step on that shit in some way.
I know here, like, they do, like, what's it called, school choice or select choice, where once your kids get to high school, like, you can pretty much put them in a program. Like, okay, let's say I live over here with high school A, but I want to go to high school B. Like, as long as you get your kid there and pick them up, they can go to that school.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was in high school. I didn't live in my school district, but I lived in my school district most of my years. So when I moved, I wasn't going to a different high school with all those people I didn't know. So I caught rides to school. My mama took me to school. You know, we figured it out. Right. Because I was not changing schools.
Right. So to tie all that in together, man, how does social media like help with your business?
Ooh, before the algorithm change, it was amazing. I literally went 3 years without passing out business cards. Like, I hate business cards now because I'm so accustomed, like, social media, get my Instagram, you know, I have my clients tag me in something. Every time you post something, tag me, tag your location, check in, you know, keep relevancy going for myself in that way. But social media is a good thing.
And, you know, now she got a brand ambassador, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. KXC's brand ambassador.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Yeah.
She's here in the building. Reporting live.
Yeah.
I know, man.
I'm a walking billboard. Somebody's literally gonna ask me about my nails at least 2 times a day.
No lies.
Literally. I'll be on the phone with her. And somebody be like, oh, who did your nails? I'm like, my nail lady, she on the phone right now.
Right. Yeah, what's up? I coming through.
Where the shop at? Oh, right there on 2 Notch. Come pull up.
Man, one day I ain't a maid, I might swing by and get them things.
Come on, Ertz. We got you. You gonna get first class treatment. You have a glass of champagne waiting on you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
See?
Try that thing out. But nah, man, it's a real dope episode, man. It was real exciting to get to hear what you do. Especially for me, just getting exposed more to what's going on over there and that beauty makeup, that kind of, you know, in that lane, man. It's a lot of money over there. Got to start pushing my daughter. Like, hey, you need a little
definitely.
I'll buy that
This
shit.
is a good time to get into it because this is a multi-billion-dollar, and I'm doing multi-billion-dollar industry, and we think of us being like the biggest consumer in it most of the time.
Yeah, facts.
We have very little to no stake in it whatsoever. We're usually at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to that. I'm like, oh, hairstylist, I'm gonna stop at that.
Right.
But when we start looking at like logistics as far as like supply sources or having product lines and tools and things like that, it can get way bigger than what you can imagine. Why are you smiling?
I'm about to say, because I done told you to create us a new acrylic, a little acrylic remover.
That take time.
I told you we can find you a chemist, we can get some stuff.
I know it's a lot that go into that shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ertz, for real, like, to hook her up with some braiders, like, in the area, some girls who don't mind mentor. Because even, Ertz, you see, I only got a half a head of hair, and it still cost me like $350 to get some braids.
Yeah, I be looking up, man. Like when I be trying to find the girls on TikTok, like damn, who I can see my daughter to? It's like 450. Damn.
Like I mean, but even makeup, makeup that you're gonna have on for a couple of hours. A face can easily cost you $150.
I non-exposure to that makeup and shit. She ain't touching that shit.
What you mean?
That makeup and shit? Not right now. No.
But Erks, I literally follow this girl on TikTok. She's in middle school and she be doing her get ready with me's every morning. She'll just do her little eyebrows and she might like she'll show her washing her face, doing her hair.
You know what I'm saying? She think I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I be seeing this shit. I just push
just let her get a little lip gloss, a little mascara, something.
When she put like a little fluffy thing, and I like
it doesn't have to be dramatic.
So it don't have to be dramatic because when my mom didn't support me doing makeup, I would go get cheap makeup, and it caused all type of skincare issues and all stuff. So at least, like I said, you can take her to Sephora or something like that, and they can get her some little basic beginner, like I said, little lip gloss.
I tell her the real flex,
skincare routine.
The real flex is beautiful natural skin.
Okay, help her start a skincare routine.
Wait, let me play devil's advocate right here. Follow me, Erks. So she's into makeup, right? So listen, so makeup itself is its own beast. So let's say you nurture that. She's into makeup. Maybe she can do a nice glam face. And makeup doesn't have to be dramatic. There's theater makeup, there's film makeup, and they make buku amounts of money, especially when you get on sets. So she's into makeup. She's 13 right now. Let's say by the time she's 16, she just so happens to go to high school that offers aesthetics. She does her 600 hours. By the time she graduates, she is killing it. She can do makeup. She knows how to do brows very well. She can wax. She even give her homegirls a skincare routine. Take it a step further. Okay, Daddy, that might
help me retire.
I want to go to college.
That might help me retire.
She becomes an RN. She's a registered nurse now and an esthetician. She can do damage in the medical spa field.
But you haven't seen there's a little girl on TikTok. She's like 4, and she can do a whole face of theatrical makeup, like literally like cartoon make, and. For a long time, people thought that it wasn't her doing it. They thought it was other people doing it. And to her parents, was like, no, she, we just gave her the stuff.
The sometimes,
right? Yeah, no, but they just wanted her to explore it, right. And she did, and she literally at 4 could do. I mean, not just makeup like this, but I said, the whole
9.
Yeah.
Costume design and shit.
Exactly.
Somebody that made these people look like gargoyles in these movies.
Exactly. I'm gonna find her. And I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, so let me tell you, there's something called IMAX. I think the closest they come to us is Atlanta. Take your daughter to an IMAX show.
Oh,
IMAX. It's International Makeup Artistry Trade Show, if I'm not mistaken. But it takes makeup to a whole nother level.
One of these days.
What's your favorite movie?
I don't know.
You have a favorite movie? Actually, what's your favorite movie?
You got a favorite movie?
Oh, you don't watch TV. Lord Jesus. So let's think of The Grinch, right? Last one was at IMAX. Someone literally recreated the entire Grinch look. Purely makeup.
Yeah, I be seeing them shit.
Purely makeup.
I be seeing motherfuckers making their face look like it's scarred up. And
build up, scars, everything. So it goes so much further than her just putting big lashes and eyebrows.
And not only that, these brands, if you're gonna let her be on social media for hair, these brands are paying these girls. Literally, there's girls getting paid $50K for one post. Literally,
bust that down. I your manager, right?
Nah, I your manager.
You get 30%. But nah, man, we'll explore that one.
If she's into beauty, just let her go ahead and do it. That's all we saying, because right now that industry is. I mean, like I said, there's girls who 21, 22, who done been all over the world. These brands are flying them to Paris, Dubai, wherever. You know what I'm saying? They're giving them opportunities that they would never have just from social media. So go ahead and let her be great, Erks. You know what I'm saying? Don't stand in her way.
Nurture that baby.
Right.
We gonna get right. But yeah, man, this is a real dope episode we had here today, man. So. If you're ever in the Columbia area, go ahead, let them know where you're located, where they can check that out.
Studios Nail Bar, 9300 Twin Notch Road, Suite D. We're right here on the northeast side. I got a really dope staff. We do manicures, pedicures, acrylics, gel X. I have an awesome eyebrow specialist, Alyssa. So just check us out. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 7, 9 to 3 on Saturdays.
You're not going to tell them about your store manager?
And then we also have my lovely store manager. Hey, Ashley. In the
Ash in the
building.
mix.
Oh, House of Pop, HAUC. Nail supply store. Anything you need as far as nails, look me up. I'm right here.
Facts, man. Another black person getting to it. Look just like us, our age, young people getting money, man. Don't think it's a unfamiliar thing. Now we really getting to it out here, man. So I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely, man. I let us see what you're doing, man. So another dope episode of the Green Room. Ash, you want to tell them boys something before we get out there? Talk to them boys.
Here Earth go.
Yeah. But nah, man, we out of here, man. Green Room, another dope episode. Y'all make sure y'all tap in.